Dan, the first thing you need to do is you got to put on your headphones every single time because I'm talking to you right away. And I need you to listen to me. I need you to hear me when I talk to you because I miss you so dearly. I miss you so much, Dan. I miss you.
What are you saying? I can't hear you.
Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! Hey, watch him! With Dan and Tony! It's Hey, watch him, yeah!
Welcome to Hey Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
This is a show where we answer the question, what happens when two middle-aged to elderly white guys watch a movie and then complain about it for an hour and a half?
We're definitely on the elderly side of that equation. You're absolutely right. Because middle-aged, you have to be in the middle of your life. I'm definitely past the middle of my life. And you're old. You see? So we're both on the latter side of the scale.
Yeah, when you start comparing your age to Rod Stewart's age, you're in trouble.
But he's doing great. There's the difference.
Maggie, I wouldn't have cried anymore. Shannon says I can't sing. I think I can sing.
Listen, I don't want to take sides. Okay. It was on par with what we saw last night. How about that?
What did you see last night?
Mean Girls, the musical.
Oh, Mean Girls, yes. Spoilers. The movie we're doing this week is Mean Girls 2024, also known as Mean Girls, the musical movie, the movie musical.
Yeah, which is, it's what a confusing, we had a movie and then we did a Broadway show based off it called Mean Girls, the musical, right?
Yeah.
And then we made a movie based off of the musical and just called it Mean Girls again. That doesn't actually make sense to me.
I was surprised that it wasn't called Mean Girls, the musical.
It has to be colon something, right? Like there has to be a subtitle of some sort to make it make sense.
This is the second movie musical we've done in the recent past where there are no songs that you would even like. I mean, there's only 2.5 songs in the movie.
Right, that is correct.
Everything is like minute 13, minute 41. You're just like, these are not songs. These are.
Well, it turns out they're not. Did you listen to the Broadway musical soundtrack on Spotify at all?
I did not.
Totally different. I mean, similar and yet different. Like the arrangements are all different. Katie can't sing. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. Poor kid. But also the music is just like way less fun. The Broadway musicals, like they're faster, they're more upbeat, there's more like musicality behind it. There's like more instruments. All these were very pared down and slow and boring. And I was like, this is a terrible. Whoever saw this musical on Broadway was like, let's keep this going for 3 years. But I get it. Like I listened to some of the songs on the soundtrack, and it was really fun.
The musical was good. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I never saw the musical, but
but I mean
enjoyed
songs.
The music from the musical on Spotify last night. I thought they were fun.
Okay. I mean, you get confused. It's like you've got all these. It's baffling.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. It's weird is what it is.
And the two biggest songs are the number one song is the Revenge Party song. That was the one that had by far the most views on. It
also had the most production value in the movie.
Well, that and the sexy Halloween costume one. That was the other big one.
Yeah.
Oh, did you like that one?
We'll dive into it more, but I thought she did a wonderful job in that.
Oh, because her breasts were sticking out so far?
No. I mean, it didn't hurt the song, right? And I'm just saying she played that very well.
Okay.
But conversely, I thought she was horrible as the character in the movie. But once she started singing, I was like, oh, I get why you were cast in a musical.
Yeah.
But she cannot do the Amanda, Siegfried, and Roy part. She can't do it.
The Amanda, Siegfried, and Roy part? What does that mean?
I don't know her real last name. What's her name? Amanda Siegfried. Siegfried.
What are we talking about? Are we talking about
the original Mean Girls? Yeah, the character.
I've never seen the original Mean Girls, so I don't. You have to explain.
Dan, what are you talking about? You made us watch the remake, and you haven't seen the original?
Yeah, that's the idea. I always do that because
That's
it makes
not
more
the
sense.
idea. Did you at least go? You didn't even go back and watch it afterwards to be like, why did anyone ever like the original Mean Girls if this is even close to it? Because this movie is a catastrophe, and the original Mean Girls is great.
Well, you see, that's the whole idea is you are going to give. The idea is I'm going to view it as a movie, and you're going to view it as a remake of a
Nothing.
movie that you liked. Right?
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm not
true.
I'm gonna bring no prejudices to this thing. And so it's like
Okay, but
I
let's
can view it without any prejudices of enjoying something.
Okay, well let's do a quick recap. I hated this movie. How did you feel?
It was pretty terrible.
So it's basically the same.
No, you hated it. I didn't hate this movie. I was just like, all the songs are bad. The story's bad. It's not
Right.
funny.
Right.
Let's see. I kind of liked a couple. I mean, I liked a couple of the actors.
I would love. Yeah, let's talk about that at some point for sure.
I liked what's her name that played. I thought she was the one that could sing. Janice, the girl that played Janice. I thought she could sing
For sure.
She's
she
a
was
good
great.
singer. She could play a character.
Yes.
She could also if they'd have given her acting to do, I think
Sure.
she could have done acting.
It does help if you're given something to do and then you try to do it. It helps a lot. Yeah.
I really like the Katie girl.
But as a singer?
I thought that I liked her.
No.
I don't think she's a Broadway singer. I think she can sing an
It's a
emotional song.
Sure, but it's
she's
a
not a
musical.
Broadway song. She's not a
Like
Broadway
you-
singer.
All right. Listen, I think she's she's a wonderful actor. I had no problem with her as the character in the movie, but
Yeah.
when she started singing her songs, I was like, oh, she's not bad. It's not like, oh, she's terrible.
She's
But
not
she is
terrible.
Definitely worse than every other person in the movie at singing. And
Yeah.
so then I was like, well, that's your main character, and that feels like a weird choice.
Yes. It feels like a weird choice. You know, she's 26. The girl that plays Regina, 25.
Okay.
The Regina girl, I just found weird. I just found
So what's interesting, she's got a
Kinda
great
weird.
voice.
Yeah.
She played Regina in the Broadway musical for like the second half of the run or something. She didn't
Yeah.
originate it, but she was in it. And I agree. I wasn't blown away.
her like main song. You know, I am Regina George, and I am.
I should have listened to that on the soundtrack because that in the movie, that song sucks. But that's not her fault. It was a bad song. I did not like anything about that song.
It was a bad song with weird choices, and okay, we've done a little bit of this. Let's just talk about the movie for 1 second.
Oh, fine, Dan, fine.
Or maybe but you see, you've seen the original.
Indeed, yeah.
In this movie, basically what this movie is, girl moves back from Africa to America, goes to high school, doesn't have friends for like 3 hours, and so
Yeah, she actually does really good if you
she
think
doesn't
about
have
it.
friends for 3 hours. The two misfits choose her, and then they sort of throw her towards the Mean Girls, or she sort of decides to go towards the Mean Girls, and she instantly joins the Mean Girls, sort of stays with them because she's going to maybe eventually sabotage them or something. Then she meets a boy, falls in love with the boy, acts dumb to get the boy. The boy was the top Mean Girls' ex-boyfriend. Then she drags him back so she doesn't get the boy, and then eventually they exact revenge upon Regina, and then our hero Katie stays with the Mean Girls and magically becomes one of the Mean Girls in a transformation that makes no sense, and you don't see it, and it doesn't make any sense. And then it all falls apart, and they all go back to where they were, and everyone's happy and gets
they all
boyfriends
learn
and
their
girlfriends.
lessons. So now, real quickly,
hold on.
Okay.
So we have one character that has a want. Her want through the movie is to get the boy. It's not even to be popular. It's not even to be with anybody else. It's not even to have friends. It's only at we hint that maybe it's something else, but instead we change it to I want the boy.
The ugly, Ugly boy. Yeah. I'm sorry.
He couldn't sing, and so they cut all of his songs out of the movie. But that's another.
So then
that's
what
another,
did he get? He can't sing. He can't look good. He can't be charming. What did he bring in the audition where they were like, yes, let's cast you? I don't get it. Listen.
bad at math.
Are you good at math? No, I'm bad. You're cast. Get in the movie. We can't act.
So she has a wand. No one else in this movie has a wand.
That's correct.
I don't even ever know if anybody really likes each other.
They do not. In this movie, they do not. Nobody likes anybody at all. Yeah.
Did anybody like anybody? And so my question is, did anybody have anything to do in the real Mean Girls movie?
So this is what I was going to say is your synopsis is still the synopsis of the first film, except for it all makes sense. Like you can see the character development. You see these people go through these transitions. And you're like, yeah, I get it. This all makes sense. And then when everyone is terrible to each other at the end and then they all make up, you're like, okay, this all makes sense. And we've all learned a lesson. Don't be a mean girl. You know, This movie doesn't do any of that, which is weird because it's still written by Tina Fey, right? I think
she wrote it. It's her thing.
It's very weird. Yeah. I don't know what happened here, but maybe the movie was too long because they added all the songs and kept all of the story from the first one. So they're like, well, let's just get rid of the story and then only hit parts of the songs. Like do like it's like when you're switching radio stations, they're like, that's what the movie will be because we can't do a full song.
That's my wife. Oh, she drives me crazy.
Is she just yelling at you that you can't sing, Dan?
No. It's just settle on a station.
Oh, okay. I understand.
I've listened to 1/3 of a song. Now we're moving on.
And next. I get it. That's tough. I don't like it.
Okay, so what happens in the original movie?
Yeah, I mean, the same thing. She moves back from Africa. She makes friends with these two misfits. Now, for me, the biggest difference is Janice wants revenge on Regina George to the point where, like, you see it, but also you realize that Janice is a mean girl. So Janice was a mean girl. She still is a mean girl. She's just not friends with the mean girls. So she does mean things to get back at the mean girls. That's what this one was missing for me. Like a big part of it is that she wasn't a mean girl. Yeah.
We needed that so bad.
And it's Lizzie Kaplan, and she's amazing.
And I think this other girl would be good as a mean girl, too. And
100%. No, she was great. I have no problem with her as an actor or a singer. Yeah.
Instead of calling Katie, she calls her Caddy. And then at one point, sort of when the whole thing is turning, she calls her Caddy. And I'm like, she's a dick.
She is. She's supposed to be. Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
They don't really do that in this one. And that's a big...
They don't do it.
For sure. And that you lose a lot of the setup of the movie when you get rid of that.
Because she should have... This all should be her machinations.
It is indeed. She sees an opportunity where this doughy-eyed girl could get in with these girls so she could destroy them. That's like the whole thing.
You have to set that up at the beginning. And that has to be...
They do in the other one, Dan. You should see the other one. It's pretty good.
They skip it. There's like, the whole motivation.
I think they assume you know. I think they assume everyone who is seeing this trash movie has already seen the other one. In fact, they probably think half of you have seen the Broadway musical, too. So they're like, we don't need story. They already get the story.
That's why I go into it like this. Because then I'm like, what is happening? This doesn't make any sense.
It would be hard to know. That is for sure.
And what does Regina want?
Just to be like the coolest kid in the world. You know, like Regina's just a classic, I need to be your number one stunner.
So does she like Katie or does she begin to like Katie?
No.
She never likes Katie. She never cares about Katie.
No, because they are also still pretty mean to her throughout. Like they
were never mean to her.
No, for sure not. Yeah, it's interesting. You know, because they all have that rivalry, and you see it a little in this movie where Regina's like mean to. I only remember people from the original, so the Lacey Chabert character. She's mean to her in the closet or whatever. She yells at her.
Scene. Yeah.
Yeah, there's more of that. Like
there should be 10 times more of that.
Yeah, there's that. It's that, and then it just multiplied and it's good, man. It's good. People say that it doesn't hold up because some of the jokes are outdated, and and that's fine. But in my old man opinion, they didn't change enough to call it an update. Just like they still do the fat shaming. Like, that's what happens to Regina. It's fat shaming, and everyone's like, you should probably update that, right? Because that's a huge thing now. I don't know. It's weird.
You mean they should have changed the fat shaming to something else?
Probably. If we're trying to update it for 2025.
It was surprising that they did the fat shaming stuff. I was kind of like, that's different.
It doesn't fit in this movie as well because we got rid of most of the un-PC bad things, but we kept that one. And I assume it's just because they couldn't think of anything else to do to Regina to get her on the outs. But
yeah, I mean, what are you going to do to make someone embarrass themselves?
Apparently, just make her 5 pounds heavier, and that's enough to do it. I don't know.
Then she falls over, and I mean, Regina was the meanest to her mom of everybody, and that she was more mean to her mom than anybody else in the movie, and the mom really didn't. Had a very small role in the whole situation.
Yeah, and that's Amy Poehler in the original, and she's great. I mean, I like Busy Phillips too. I thought she was right, busy.
Yeah,
Busy Phillips. Yeah,
she was okay.
Yeah, she was okay. She had like a funny bit on the stairs where she did some weird splits for no reason, and I was like, okay, that would be funny if I was enjoying this movie.
Maybe that's part of the thing is you don't find a movie funny or things funny if you're just not enjoying the movie or the characters just don't mean anything. Okay.
That is correct.
I also think Tina Fey's at one point when Katie comes in there and she's like, where have you been going to school? And she's like, I've been homeschooled. And then Tina Fey's character's like, well, thanks for stealing money, food out of
undermining my profession or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, there's a joke.
Yeah.
And no one reacts to it and no one care. It's like every one of the things they're just like these zingers that just zing to nowhere.
Yeah, lifelessly. Yeah.
And it's like you got to have comedy that you're like, I'm affected or whatever. Or
somebody needs to be affected.
Yeah, because nobody's affected. Everybody just looks at the other person like they're a lunatic. And you want to leave the room like, oh, okay, you have problems.
I do want to leave the room. Does that help?
And did you ever watch 30 Rock?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Isn't that how that whole show was? Because I watched like a super clip of like all the funniest things that happened to something character, and I watched them, and they were all kind of like that. You're just like,
Alec Baldwin. As much as we've turned on him, so I probably shouldn't compliment him. He's very good in that show. And people are going to fight me. The rest of the show could just leave it. I didn't love the show. We'll just put it that way.
Oh, okay. So you watched it, but it's not like you watched it mainly
I watched it because it was like what you're supposed to do, and it was probably the reason that Sunset Strip was canceled with Matthew Perry and Bradley Whitford, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. I only got one season because they're both about SNL type shows. So I just I watched it all the way through, and I just never cared for it.
Okay, so maybe it's just a Tina Fey thing where her comedy just sort of because like I said, I watched the first episode of that the Four Seasons, and it was just like,
that's right, yeah,
not funny, and did not want to spend any more time with these characters, and chose to leave.
Yeah,
chose to not be held hostage. Mean Girls. We start out.
Right.
With we start out with the two characters, Janice and Damien, who are going to be our narrators, but of course they aren't our narrators, and they do a song that is 1 minute and 9 seconds long.
Yeah,
I loved it. I loved the song. And it went nowhere. I mean, I was like, okay, I'm grooving to this. It's going to set up everything, and we're going to go to all these places. And you're
then it didn't.
It's over. Bye. See you.
And then they just walk out the garage, and you're like, wait, come back, come back, please come back. I don't know. I don't get why we're loosely telling the story from their point of view. Almost like it's weird because they're not really in most of the movie or story, but that's fine.
There was a movie called Cat Ballou with Jane Fonda, and there were like these two characters that were like, traveling minstrelly kind of guys, and they would come in. They'd come in sort of at the act breaks and like
Sure, yeah, okay, yeah.
and usher things through. And I was like, oh, that's what this is going to be. No,
It's not really though. Right. Like
Not
that
really.
would make sense.
Yeah.
This just kind of didn't. I don't know.
So Katie's in Africa with her mom, and I guess she doesn't want to be there.
Could not tell if I'm being honest.
We
Yeah.
weren't really shown or told, but then her mom's like, I got a job because I know you don't want to be here. And then she runs away, and then she's like, no more what ifs. I'm gonna do stuff, I guess. Because I didn't do stuff, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess so.
There it is. Tim Meadows is the principal. Tina Fey is Miss Newberry, the calculus teacher. Somehow the calculus class packed with people, but not really. How did you do in calculus, Tony?
You think I took calculus?
No, I don't think you took calculus because it's absurd.
Well, I was very good in calculus and trigonometry. No, I took like basic math for dummies.
Calculus too high. Calculus is the
It's way too high.
It's literally the pinnacle of math in high school.
This is why I did theater arts in college. Otherwise, I would have had to take real classes. No, thank you.
So just make it trig. I don't know why it's calculus. It just doesn't make
Sure.
any sense.
Well, because she's advanced. She's supposed to be very smart.
Yeah, no, I understand she's supposed to be very smart, but
Okay.
the only people in calculus are people taking AP classes, and they're all very smart.
Sure.
They're
Unlike
not
the people in this classroom.
Yeah, it's like, I'm a dum-dum. Like, what? Okay. Then we meet all these other teachers that we never see again. We have John Hamm in there, who we see in one other weird
Well,
short
he
scene.
gets his cool sexual sex ed class talk, so that's great.
That was Yeah, I thought that was going to be like, how we sort of structured this thing, but no. We're just have this.
Yeah.
We're just going to maybe see these characters in the background. Not even worth meeting.
I mean, I love John Hamm, so I was happy to see him.
I'm worried about John Hamm.
Like, personally? Have you spoken to him? How's Johnny doing?
At the 50th Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
he's enjoying it too much. It's kind of Alec
Sure.
Baldwin enjoys it, but Alec Baldwin is so committed to the craft. Back to Alec Baldwin, always so
We
committed.
might be talking way too much about Alec Baldwin.
Forget the Mean Girls. Let's talk about Alec Baldwin.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, though.
Yeah. And he just, it's like, I'm out here having so much fun. And it's like,
Man.
no, you got to be.
Did you watch Friends and Neighbors at all?
No, how is that?
It's okay. He's good in it. I enjoy him a lot. I have problems with the show in general, but it was good. I
Okay.
finished it.
He was great in the Fargo episode, but it was serious.
I still have not watched
It was-
new Fargo.
Very serious. Okay, we get to lunch. She has no place to sit. She goes and eats in the toilet. Here comes Jen and Damien, and we're gonna take you on. They go back to lunch, and then they're all like, "We got to find you a tribe." That doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense because you're not taking her on, right? Like if we're taking you on, then you're coming with us. But we're just like trying to pawn you off on somebody else. Why did you even go get her at that? Like none of this matters.
Yeah.
It's weird.
This should be the setup of the movie, right? This should be your act break. This should be your end of Act 1, where we've set up all of our characters. We set up Regina and the plastics. A thing that never goes anywhere. Calling them the plastics, that doesn't make any sense. They don't seem like that. I don't know what that means. And then immediately she just walks. I think she just walks over there and gets sucked into Regina's world.
Yeah, and they're just cool with it. Super accepting, if I'm being honest. And it's a little strange.
And we sort of set up these rules where no sweatpants and you got to wear pink on Thursdays and something.
Yeah.
And it all just goes right through your head. And then one of the girls is trying to do this so fetch.
Yeah.
Which is like, I think people found it funny in the original movie. maybe.
Well, it was. I mean, listen, Lacey Chabert is very charming.
Oh,
and
really?
So she's just in general. Have you ever watched Lacey Chabert? Come on. That's why she's doing all those Hallmarky type movies. She's great. But yeah, she's great. Fetch is funny and it's iconic. To use that word appropriately, it's iconic. People still love it.
So she was using it, and then it was funny, and so people then began to use it, and it was a cultural thing.
In real life, yes. Yeah. So, like, it's the same storyline as this movie where she's trying to make fetch, and the iconic line is stop trying to make fetch happen. But it's delivered terribly in this movie. But yeah, I mean, it's funny. It's good. It's not here, but it's a nod to the original, we'll say.
So this poor sad girl that plays Lacey Chabert's character just...
Yeah, she's tough. Yeah.
Tough. This weird Jason guy comes over. He is this weird guy that ends up dating the Lacey Chabert character, and I don't like spending any time with this guy.
Yeah, that's fair. He has one relatively funny line later at a party when they're yelling, when they're talking right before they kiss. Do you remember that?
No.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, I remember him being there and something happens, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't like this guy."
Yeah, I think that's fair. We'll just leave it at that. I don't know who he is. I don't know what he's doing in the movie. I don't know.
Don't spend time with him.
Yeah.
So she goes back to the nerds, and she's like, Regina seems cool, and then we sort of realize Jen has a past with Regina when they were 13 years old, and then so she's like, you're gonna spy on them, I guess, sort of.
Yeah, sorta.
AP Calculus, we see she's smart. She meets the boy. She does a song about how she fell in love with a boy. And then...
This song is a bop in the Broadway musical.
Yeah. Not
really liked it. Really liked it last night when I listened to it.
Not here.
Not in this movie, but in the musical version on Broadway, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
So instead of following love, she followed math. So now she's throwing math. She does use the word calculus, which I was like, they don't emphasize it well, so you almost miss it. You're like, did she just say calculus?
Think it's calculus,
or did she say, that should have been the song, calculus, bump 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 bump. That's what I had written.
Pom 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 pom.
She gets picked. Yeah. This is the most emblematic thing of the movie. She gets picked up by her mom. She yells at her mom, "You can't pick me up like this." Her mom's in normal. Yeah. This is not Uncle Buck. Him rolling up in the. And you're just like,
John Candy.
This is fucking embarrassing. This is not good. You get it. You get Uncle Buck. This is just like her mom in a normal car, looking normal.
Well, that's the problem. Normal. Okay. We're not normal, Dan. We're plastics. You'd get it. You know what? You'd get it if you saw the other one. Okay.
More rules about lunch. She does some calorie math. Regina's always eating cheese fries. Is that supposed to mean something?
I got a little confused, honestly, because those aren't good. Right? So, here's my thing.
What's your thing, Tony? He's gonna do his thing.
No, it's just because the whole plot is we give her weight gain bars, right?
Yeah.
But she's just at a regular lunch, and she's like, "I'm just gonna go get cheese fries." That's something that I would do.
She comes, what I mean? Well, she comes in with cheese fries the first time, and then in another scene, she goes to get cheese fries. Right. Through dissatisfaction with what food she
cheese fries, not healthy food. And I'm not saying that she needs to eat healthy. What I'm saying is they're sending weird messages where it's like we're going to trick her into gaining weight, but she's eating cheese fries a minimum 2 times a week here. I love cheese fries. This is a cheese fries body. Okay.
Well, I'm going to say something. It's going to be controversial. She's big.
Yeah, no. She
does not walk in and slay the room, and so you're kind of like,
she's not Rachel McAdams.
Oh, does Rachel McAdams play her in the first
one?
Do you
literally know nothing about the original Mean Girls, dear?
I haven't seen it.
I know you haven't seen it, but you probably have heard about it before. Is this your first time hearing that there's a movie from 20 years ago about Mean Girls? Is that what's going on here?
I've heard of it. Rachel McAdams.
You know that Lindsay Lohan plays the main girl, right, Katie?
I read that today.
I read that.
That's because they worked her into this movie, and I did not realize that. If you had said to me who plays the Katie girl in the real one, I'd have been like, I mean,
I can't believe
like
this
the
totally
minute after
missed
I
you.
turned off the movie, I'd been like, I don't know.
I have no idea.
Hold on, Rachel McAdams like super hot, right?
Yeah, smoking.
Did they make her gain? Did they make her gain weight in the first movie?
Not in like she's not like in a fat suit, but they make her like look schlubby. You know,
They do.
It's not good in the first movie. That's why it's weird that they do it in this one, even though this one is all about like updating it for nowadays. It's weird. It's weird that they kept that storyline. But all that to say is if you're eating cheese fries a couple times a week,
Yeah,
I don't think those weight gain bars are going to do a whole lot. I'm just saying.
Yeah, and I mean,
weird.
She was, you know, especially the very first scene, she's wearing like this horrible dress and it's just horrible. It's
the clothes in general in this movie are not great. Now, I don't know if that's because I'm old.
No.
Maybe they're cool and hip and I don't get it. I'll accept that if you tell me that, but I don't think the clothes looked good in the movie.
No,
like
weird.
Nothing is like, oh, that's a cool outfit.
And it's not like they're, you know, it's like when you watched whatchamacallit, the Paul Rudd movie with Alicia Silverstone. Clueless. They're wearing outfits. And, you know, it's like, I don't know. You know, I looked at those outfits. I'm like, these are not outfits that I know. But you were like, they're wearing outfits.
And it's like a vibe, not a good one, in my opinion. But
it's a vibe. It's a vibe. These clothes did not feel like a vibe.
No, not at all.
These three girls that are sitting there, you don't go like, these three girls, the three mean girls, ostensibly.
They're something.
They don't feel like they're a vibe and a thing. They're just like, they're all just sort of wearing clothes.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, clothes. We're talking about clothes.
You should really go watch the original, Dan. I want to hear your thoughts on it.
Probably not. Let's see. We meet Kevin from Calc. He wants her to join the team, but Regina shuts it down. Whatever. We have the Apex Predator song, which is just that Regina rules the roost, and so she breaks up this one couple for an unknowable reason and sends the one girl there to be with that weird Jason guy.
Yeah, it was weird.
Then they get in the Jeep, they go to the house, they meet the mom. She's meeting the mom. One good line in here is that your room is so big, and she was like, it used to be my mom's room, and I took it.
Yeah.
I didn't laugh, but it's a good line.
You would have laughed if you had seen the original because it's funny in the original.
They bring up guac and they're like, you don't know what guac is. And it's like, okay.
I don't know what guac. Maybe I don't. You know, I mean, I know what guacamole is, but I don't know.
But that's what guacamole is. Guac.
Right, but they're saying, like, is there really someone on Earth that doesn't know what guacamole is? I don't believe that. I'm sorry. I don't believe that to be true.
Well, they were trying to do a whole bit because she's from Kenya, and it never really worked. Was she from Kenya in the first movie?
Yeah. And I think there's like a really un-PC joke about how she had a boyfriend and he ran away and he was very fast because he was Kenyan or something like that, if I remember correctly, which was very funny, but obviously, you know, bad.
Now we get Regina's burn book, which is the book where she has pictures of everyone and then says mean stuff about them.
Yeah, but not really. This burn book is very tame compared to the OG burn book.
Yeah. They go get some shoes for her. Gretchen, that's the girl. Katie
Gretchen Wieners.
No comment. I'm not going to say that again. She follows Gretchen into the closet. Gretchen does a song about what's wrong with me, but it doesn't. I don't know.
Ring true?
Yeah, it doesn't ring true. I mean, it's like that should be such a relatable song.
Well, she should have felt something before this moment, one. or again after. She never really, she doesn't seem like she's a character that's struggling with this identity issue that she has in this one scene. And that's weird because in the song is like, what is she talking? She doesn't feel that way. I want to be able to relate to her and feel what she is feeling.
Yeah.
But I can't because she's not feeling it. She's lying. I don't know why she's singing this song, but it's not to be truthful.
Yeah, she can't act, right? That's part of the problem.
No, she wasn't very good. No.
Okay, can't act. Then Katie tells Janice about the burn book. She wears the high heels and starts to get the attention of the boy. Jen is arty, so then we have a montage of her failed boy interactions where she says dumb things.
Yeah.
And then eventually she starts acting dumb, and then he invites her to a Halloween party.
Yeah.
Yep. Then we get the Dumb Girls' Sexy for Halloween song, which was the longest and most significant song of the movie so far.
Which is weird because
I did not care for it.
Yeah, well, like as a song, it doesn't really. So not that this is a problem, but how does this advance the movie at all? Right?
She just talks about wearing sexy clothes.
And why? What's the point? We're at a Halloween party for 4 minutes. Why does this matter? How is this relevant to anything happening in the movie? It's not. It's just not. But I think she does it very well, and she dances very well as well. Like one of my biggest problems is when Katie dances with the background dancers, she looks worse than the background dancers. When this young lady danced with the background dancers, is like, oh yeah, she's leading them. She looks like she's the Beyonce to the background dancers, right? Like
what you want to do.
That's what you want, I think, out of your leads. So I thought she did a good job on this. But again, her character overall was just not good. And I felt like she was trying to do an Amanda Seyfried like imitation. It just didn't work.
So Amanda Seyfried plays the dumb girl.
Yes, the super ditzy girl. And she knocks it out the frickin' park.
So it's a real serious cast in that first movie. I mean, it's a drop dead cast.
The fact that you are just learning this just keeps blowing my mind. But it's
Rachel
a
McAdams,
cast.
Amanda Seyfried, Lindsay Lohan, Lacey Chabert. These are all people I know and all people I love Lindsay Lohan. I think Lindsay Lohan, she can be a really great actress. She's a great comedian. She can she got a great
go of it, but
great
she's
voice.
lovely.
She's a real deal. Okay, well, maybe I'll watch that movie someday.
Just watch it one time. It's not even that long.
Katie meets Aaron. He's excited to see her there. Regina inserts himself in their relationship, drags him off, and immediately steals him back to herself. She acts upset, and then he chases her. Mm-hmm. And then Regina has this weird, they like turn off all the lights, and she does this, you used me. It was so weird.
Super weird. Yeah, super weird.
They're like, it's like they're backwards masking songs or something.
Is that what it's called when you play the LP backwards? Okay, cool.
Paul is not dead and he's alive.
Was that a Beatles? The Beatles.
That was your whole childhood when I was a kid, was that the Beatles records have all these things that tell you what's really going on with the Beatles if you run the albums backwards.
Oh, interesting. Our big thing was Pink Floyd played to Wizard of Oz.
You played the Pink Floyd album at the same time as watching the movie Wizard of Oz, and you get the secrets of life.
Well, they like matched up, and it was like a soundtrack to it or something. I don't know. I don't remember. It was a long time ago.
Did you do it?
I mean, I know that my sister did it, and I was there for it, but I was pretty young. Let me make sure. Pink
sounds
Floyd,
like a thing.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah. It's a thing.
There it is. So Katie then runs to Janice and Damien, and then we learn the whole story about Janice and Regina's backstory, which is they were friends, and then Regina turned on her and then there was like a stuffed animal and it got lit on fire, and
Yeah, I
Janice
didn't
is like a
follow
lesbian, and okay.
Yeah, I mean, you have the cliff notes. Yeah,
That's what happened in the real movie too?
yeah, sort of. Like it's basically like Regina's like, "Oh my God, you're obsessed with me. You must be in love with me." So then she told everyone that Lizzie Kaplan was a lesbian, and obviously, in the time that it happened, that was not necessarily a positive thing. Thank God we've learned from that, by the way. But so this one, they had to make her like burn stuff down or something.
Yeah.
Because that's the negative thing. I didn't totally understand it, if I'm being honest.
It was weird.
Yeah,
Okay.
a little weird.
Very good. Very, very good. Then we have a song. We'll get you back. We'll attack. Revenge. Oh, this is the Revenge Party song. Almost a song, but it ends.
Almost. It's so close to being a song.
Katie gets Aaron to tutor her. Katie tricks Regina into eating the fat bar so that she starts gaining weight.
Mm-hmm.
And then she gets... And this is really interesting. They're trying to, so this is the revenge party. So this is a whole thing where so the first thing they do is they set the sprinklers on her when they're wearing evening gowns on the football field. And,
I don't know.
And then it makes her eyeliner run, and then it makes her more popular.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, then when the real revenge things comes, she has to not get unpopular, right?
Well, you would think so.
Isn't that what you're setting up with the bit?
I wouldn't worry about it.
You wouldn't worry, but that's the bit, right?
Well, that's the bit if you want to follow through, but if you don't want to follow through, you just don't worry about it.
Revenge Party song never stops. No candy cane for... so then we send a candy... They send a candy cane to Katie from Regina, and then Gretchen doesn't get one from Regina, so Gretchen spills the beans that she's having sex with a dude in the closet, and then Katie spills the beans to the dude, and the dude goes and sees them, and he's hurt, and he doesn't go to her,
and stuff.
And he just runs away.
Well, he's in his feels, And
then Katie's continuing to fail quizzes to try to act like she's dumb to get the guy.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just do if you know everything, and you can completely control exactly what, wouldn't you just get C's? Why would you fail? Well,
because you really have to play dumb. Guys don't get stuff that's subtle. We need F's, otherwise I'm going to think that you're doing just fine. Honestly, let's think about this. I got B's and C's in high school, right? Because I needed to maintain a B average to keep my driver's license from my father. So I did the bare minimum. I did exactly what you're saying. Like I maintained that. I did just enough work to get the B average and no more. I wasn't spending any extra time to get anything over that.
You could have gotten A's if you wanted to.
We'll never know, Dan. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I'm smart, but I'm just saying I did not work that hard, and I did just enough to maintain that average. Wow. So I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. You do just enough to get by, but nothing extra.
You never wanted to overachieve in your life, did you, Tony?
I really didn't. Because here's the thing, right? Like I have other things I want to do, Dan. So I don't want to spend my time overachieving in something that I don't care that much about.
I mean, if you have that driver's license, what else do you need?
Exactly. You got all the freedom in the world.
Okay. Boom. Now we have the other thing about this movie's kind of cycles through. When the next event is gonna happen because they tell us what it's gonna be. So this thing is like the Christmas thing. I don't know, it has a name, and then there's like the spring
talent
fling
show.
formal, and so you're like, okay, that's the
seasons are changing.
The adult will announce what the thing is, and then you're like, well, I guess whatever's gonna go down will go down there. We start with Kevin G and the Math 3, I think they're called. They do something inappropriate. I almost was ready to like that, but we didn't really get to see enough of it to get to be inappropriate.
It's better in the original. More inappropriate. So, I think it's funnier. That's a hard character to make more PC and still keep funny because his whole bit was that he was inappropriate.
You gotta go. It's interesting because that's the whole thing about comedy is you can't let Kevin G disappear. You have to you have to go hard with Kevin G because that's all you got.
Not in 2024, Dan. Can't do it.
They do Rockin' Around the Pole. Mom is embarrassed, and then Regina comes crashing down. Boom. Now everyone hates Regina or thinks she's a schlub, and they love Katie now.
There's two things. You're right. There's two things I didn't get.
Yeah.
She fell over, sure.
Yeah.
But so? Like I didn't understand how that made people turn on her.
Oh, because they didn't make it embarrassing enough.
100%. No, I mean, I agree. And then when they cut to like Katie doing stuff and they're on like the Instagrams or whatever, she doesn't look good, right? So like, how would that make me like her? I just, there had to have been more of like a stark difference between what these two people are doing to make me feel the same way.
Well, like Katie's normal hair to Katie's hot hair, not that different.
It's basically the same. Yeah. Yep.
And I mean, you know, when they put her in more revealing clothing, you're like, oh, okay, she's, you know,
sure.
They I won't say, should I say wait, let me check this thing. I got to check my battery because I got the new battery on the thing. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, yeah, you got that new battery. Dan's computer died, everybody.
Yeah, well, the battery died, and I replaced it myself like a pro.
Wow. No wonder it doesn't work. Come on, Dan. That was funny. Don't be cranky about it.
Man, Tony, you're testing me today.
I'm just pushing you to the limits.
So now Katie is the thing. Yay.
Yeah, now she's the it girl. I don't know.
And then then Janice is like, oh, we've succeeded. And Katie's like, no, I need one more lunch. And then she's now the queen bee. And then Regina shows up wearing sweatpants and they're all like, you're banned. Rules are rules. Get out.
Yeah.
And then we learn that Katie is up for prom queen.
Yes.
But she has to go to see Neil deGrasse Tyson with her mom.
Right.
Because she begged her mom to go see Neil deGrasse Tyson, but then she decides instead that she's going to have a party. And then she tells her mom, why don't, I don't want to go. And the mom's like, well, I guess I'm going to go see Neil deGrasse Tyson.
All alone? Even though it was
that doesn't make any
what
sense.
You wanted to do, I guess I'll just go alone. What? Why?
The most nonsensical thing ever. It has to be a mom thing that the mom wants to do.
Yes. It has to be a Goofy movie type situation, right? Where Goofy wants to go fishing and Max doesn't want to go fishing. He wants to go to the concert. It's a classic. It's a classic
I'll just
trope.
Go fishing by myself.
Nope, not right. That's not what happens.
Why doesn't
ridiculous?
Doesn't Max get Dad to go fishing without him?
No. Did you still not watch a Goofy movie?
I started it. I did not like the voices.
For the love of God, you are testing my patience today. Oh my God. No. They end up going to the Powerline concert, you fool.
It's great. So they have the big off the hook party. Her mom's vase gets broken. Actually, that was a joke that was kind of funny. When the mom's like, what happened to my vase? That's kind of funny.
Sure, kind of.
She's in a room. She goes in a room with Aaron. They sit on the bed. And then she confesses everything.
Well, first someone breaks in the room, and it was super weird.
No, I like that. I thought that was
you liked it
because she yells at them, and I'm like, okay, she
yells at them, but I didn't feel like she was very intimidating.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I don't know. I just, it was very different from her character. It was like, it
was definitely very different from her character. But it didn't feel like a mean Regina thing. It didn't feel mean. It felt whiny.
Oh, so she should have said, you don't have condoms, blah, blah, blah. She should have said something truly mean.
Yeah, I think so. And sent them away and we're like, oh, she's a mean girl now, But instead she was just like, we're in here. And I didn't like it.
Trying to get with and why does she do all this confession?
I don't know.
She didn't do that in the original movie?
No, it did have. I don't remember exactly how this all happens.
Because you didn't care about this part.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah.
This isn't the fun stuff of the movie.
Don't
Yeah,
really
nobody cares about the redemption arcs.
And so when she tells everything to him, he yells at her, "You're a clone of Regina." And I'm like,
but she's not, and that's my problem.
Regina never did any of these things.
She definitely is in the first movie.
Oh, really?
But she's not in this movie.
So she becomes all fetch in the first movie.
Way to use it, Dan. I'm proud of you. You're redeeming yourself already. Yeah. She becomes she becomes a mean girl.
She puts on the shoes and the outfits, and you're like,
she puts on the whole outfit. She looks good. Because Lindsay Lohan.
Looked good.
No, it all makes sense. I'm telling you, this movie doesn't make any sense somehow. I don't know what happened.
So, and then Janice shows up, and then she yells at Janice, "You're obsessed with me." And you're like,
yeah,
Janice has never been obsessed with you. She never did anything to make you think that. She
hardly likes you, as far as I can tell. I don't know.
Doesn't, And then she made.
Don't know.
Janice has yarn on her face, and she made this weird yarn fabric art of the three of them.
I guess. Yeah. I don't know. I didn't get it. But I don't, art goes over my head, so.
That's true, like most things. Okay, Regina's going to have her revenge. She starts her revenge song. She takes the book, leaves it at school, and then she's going to watch the world burn. Everyone sees the book and sees themselves in it, and everyone hates each other. It didn't make any sense, but, I guess if you were along for the ride in the movie, you'd be like, that's how everyone is.
Well, also, like in the original, there's more about like people turning on each other because they turn to their friends and they're like, I told you that in confidence. And it's like, who really put the things in the burn book? Because, it's only something that somebody would, things like that. So people turn on each other because they think their friends have sold them out, essentially.
And that can't be done in song. That has to be done in acting.
Well, no, I mean, if you're in a musical, you don't want to act. You're like two different things. All right.
We all hurt each other. So Tina Fey brings everybody together in the thing, and then we have like a real scene, like an emotional scene where we're gonna all write apologies. And, she does a thing where they hold up your hand if you've hurt someone, hold up the hand if you've intentionally. And it was like, oh, wow, this is like acting and like a scene in the midst of this movie that is chosen to never have
not
scenes.
Do those things. Yeah.
Janice does the whole plot. I should have known better. And then she does her right finger song, which I thought was the best song in the movie.
Hands down. Yeah, hands down. Best song in the movie.
And it's still not a good song. Not a great song. Not a song you really sing along with, but it's a good song.
But having watched this whole movie, because I was forced to for this podcast, you get to that and you're like, wow, this is a nice reprieve because this is pretty good.
Yeah. And then Regina gets hit by a bus.
Yeah.
She died but gets revived. And then people are saying Katie pushed her. You're like, okay. And then
okay.
Mrs. Nurburg got out because the book said she was a drug pusher. And then Katie admits it. I did it. And makes up with the Mrs. With Nurburg or whatever.
Yeah. With the teach.
She's got a 3-week suspension. She goes home. And then Jenna Fisher... Is it Jenna Fisher? Is that her name?
Yes. Yeah, from The Office.
Is the mom. And we have a real emotional scene with two actresses who both know how to act. And we're like, wow, look at this. Another real scene. We could have used this.
Do you think that they shot chronologically and they were just figuring out how to make a movie by this point? Do you think that's what happened?
I don't know, Tony. She tries to visit Regina, but just leaves flowers. She goes back to school. She apologizes, Mrs. Norberg. And okay, here's the joke I liked. Okay, it's the Kevin joke.
Oh, Kevin joke.
Kevin is there.
We missed the joke I like.
Oh, what was it?
Do you want to tell yours first? Because we're here.
This is one of my jokes. There's two. Kevin is, so the one guy is Kevin's trying to make squills happen. So his thing is squills. So he does the
Right.
squills bit. And then Jacob says to him, stop trying to make squills happen. And then Kevin says, Jacob, get off my dick. I laughed a bunch.
Of course you did. Of course you did.
Get off my dick.
Because it doesn't fit in this movie, if I'm being honest with you. But that's a funny line.
It's a funny line, and the kid delivers it perfectly. He's like, get off my dick.
He's good.
And you're like, oh, okay. Well, that's what you would say because you're pissed off because you're trying to get squills
100%.
working. I'm like, okay, this kid's funny.
Which is squills is weirder than fetch, if I'm being honest. But maybe that's because I've heard fetch for 20 years. I don't know.
Okay, Tony, hit us with the joke you liked.
Okay, so the joke that I liked was in the gymnasium. I totally, because we were just talking, I totally forgot about it. And they're all doing their apologies and then their trust falls. One of the chorus girls gets up and she's like, hey, somebody in the audience, I'm sorry I said you were dragging during Revenge Party. There was just so much pressure for us to advance the story during the montage. And I lost my shit. I was like, that's a great meta joke. Thank you. That's the only joke that I enjoyed.
And it was followed up with another, the follow-up line was good too. I don't remember what it was.
Well, I don't know if it's Tim Meadows turns to Tina Fey and goes, what the hell's going on here? Something like that. And I was like, that's great.
Points out that it's a meta joke and he points out that he doesn't understand the meta joke. Yeah, that was a good one. So
that only took 90 minutes to get to that one laugh from me.
Took a lot longer to get to my laughs, but we're cruising into one and we're going to hit the second one.
All right, we're doing it.
She then joins Math Club, and Math Club is the same day as the Spring Fling. It's during the day. And so now we do this weird intercut with Janice is singing a song that's at the Spring Fling while they're doing Lindsay Lohan. We're doing the math thing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's confusing.
What is happening?
I don't know what to tell you.
Why are we doing that?
I don't know. But they did it. So you got to wrap it up quick,
Ends up a tie. The two teams pick the two girls to come out. The two girls come out there. And I guess what's her name has learned not to be a mean girl anymore. So she's all like, why does...
When did that happen? I don't understand.
When she took flowers to Regina's house.
Regina?
Yeah. Okay. That's when it happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Could have maybe... Good to know. Maybe we could have seen it somehow, but no, she's just...
Yeah, it would have been all right. But whatever.
And so she's all like, she says to the girl, it's nice to meet you. We don't need to be in competition. And then the other girl says, whatever, slut.
Yeah, which you're right. No, that was funny. You're right. I did laugh.
That was my second laugh.
Yeah.
It's a good laugh. Whatever.
Yeah.
Slut.
No, you're right. That was good.
And the girl delivered it perfectly. She had this weird face, and then you were like, oh, she got it. No, she's like, whatever, slut. Okay, boom.
Yeah, it was good.
And she gets it right. They win. Regina. So Regina, then we're at Spring Fling. She meets Regina in the bathroom. Regina has this thing on her neck.
Brace.
Her head moves way too much for a neck brace.
That's not holding her in place at all. She's loosey goosey in there.
You gotta put somebody in a neck brace. I know it's uncomfortable, but you can't. No, you can't.
She can't be flopping around up there. That's dangerous.
So then she apologizes. And then she says, I forgive you, but I'm on a lot of drugs, so I need to change, but I'm on a lot of drugs. So we're like, I don't understand. Is she telling us the truth, or is she just saying shit?
She's lying. She's just high as a kite, man. She's so doped up.
Katie wins
Prom queen.
Or
fling queen, whatever they call it.
She's gives a speech. Tim Meadows does have a good line. She's like, this is not really the time for giving speeches. That's a good line.
Which is from the first one.
Most of his lines are fine. And I'm sure in a good movie, they'd be funny.
Yeah, he's great in the original.
Yeah, there it is. And she breaks up the crown and throws it out there. It makes up with everyone, and everyone gets boyfriends or girlfriends as necessary. And does she get back together with the ugly guy? Yeah, she does, and they kiss.
Katie? You mean Katie?
Yeah, Katie gets together with the ugly guy, and they kiss.
She gets the boy.
Why does she get him, Tony?
Well, because she's way out of his league, so he's probably just lucky to be there.
She's like way hotter than he is. Even as a nerd, she was way hotter than him.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm just calling like I see it. You know, people out there, if you think he's attractive, let me know. I'm curious because he does nothing for me.
Wow, Tony.
Sorry.
And then the movie ends, and I think there was some post-credit things, but I did not watch those.
Yeah, I think there was too. I think I turned it off pretty quick. I'm not going to lie. Couldn't wait to go to bed after that.
Why can't we have good songs? That's it. You know, like make a bad movie, but put good songs in it.
Yeah, then it's forgivable because it's a musical and the music is what matters, right? But now we're 0 for 2. That's not good. That's bad.
And I'm sorry, but it seems like the songs is the controllable thing.
Yes, 100%.
You only make the movie if you have a pile of songs that are good.
You would think
That's
so.
the only reason
because
you make
if you
the
made a
movie.
musical that was a good movie but had terrible songs, you would just be like, well, let's just make it a movie because the songs suck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I don't know.
If the guy keeps
Maybe they thought they were great.
I mean, but a minute and 9 seconds, it doesn't even matter.
Not a song. That's true.
It's interesting. I was waiting around for you because you were late, of course, to do the show.
As per usual.
And I had this one song in my head. I'm like, what is that song? What is that song? What is that song? And of course, it's one of the songs from Spirited. I listened to a bunch of the Spirited songs because you were late, as per usual.
Yep. Right. Yep.
And it's just
really
like,
hammering that point home.
Every one of those songs is like, here's the point of the song. I'm singing about the point of the song, and I'm going to sing about the point of the song. And
Good
you
afternoon.
Understand. Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Great song. Great.
I'm dancing down the hallway playing Good Afternoon on my phone.
Amen.
Good afternoon.
Yeah.
Good afternoon. There it is.
Good.
It's
good.
in your brain. Not a note of this movie. This is like an hour and 46.
Has stayed with me at all?
No.
Yeah, I couldn't. I don't even think if I tried, I could sing one of the tunes from the movie. I really don't.
Revenge Party and Sexy Halloween Costume. Those are the only two big songs, and then her middle finger one. You know, it's like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Now, are you saying? What is it saying here? Now, are you saying you could listen to the whatchamacallit songs, the Broadway musical?
I while I was brushing my teeth and getting ready for bed last night, I was jamming out on the Spotify.
There it is.
Thought it was fun.
Okay.
Because they're like actual songs. They're musical and they have instruments and vocals. And I felt like these were kind of lacking. The lyrics aren't better. You know what I mean? Like
Really?
the lyrics are all pretty bad just in general, but at least they're catchy and fun and upbeat.
I guess Tina Fey's husband wrote the music and some other random dude wrote the lyrics.
Interesting. Well, they should fire the dude, the random dude for sure.
Yeah. So, and I was looking,
not great.
I was looking at the numbers and it was like the sexy song had 1.7 million views.
Makes sense.
Just the song, not the video.
Yeah.
You know, there's a video that had 4 million views. And then the Revenge Party had 2.1.
Okay.
And then I think there was one other one that had a decent amount. And then, you know, like the songs at the end had like 40,000 views. You know,
it's
you're
not
just
great.
like,
yeah. That's not very many people.
no. So that's Mean Girls 2024.
Yeah, just Mean Girls again. That shouldn't be the title of the movie.
Now, did you ever see any of these High School Musical movies?
Of course, I saw all the High School Musical movies. Are you kidding me?
Were there any songs?
Come on,
Were there any songs?
Troy Stan? Yeah, for sure. No, they're fun, man. The blonde girl from Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, whose name I'm forgetting right now, she's got a great song, all dressed in pink with her little pup. Zac Efron's got some bangers. There's that basketball song is good. There's a bunch. Yeah,
So there's
it's
real
good,
songs,
man.
So it's like High School Musical,
which is obviously not great, but it's fun. It's way more fun than this, and the dancing is on point, and the music is on point, and the Disney Plus series is on point. I really enjoyed that a lot.
It's made on a Disney TV movie kind of budget, right? So you can
100%. Yes,
you can hire guys to write songs that that bop along because that's all you need. You don't need anything magical.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, it's cheesy. It's not like it's a good movie, but better than this.
Now, do those songs ever come into your head, or are they just like, they're good?
If not come into my head, but if I hear I can't remember it, but if you hear that basketball song, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this.
Okay, it's pretty. Yeah, I that's the one. I seem to remember that song a little tiny bit. I don't remember.
Little tiny bit.
Tony. Anything else to say about this movie, Tony?
Don't watch it.
There it is. That's about all we can say. Don't watch it. # don't watch it.
Yeah, I didn't have any fun, really. I don't know. I understand that people don't think that the old one holds up because of some of the jokes or something.
Oh, because of how
I can't
politically incorrect it is.
It's not as PC. Yeah, it's not. It was 20 years ago. I mean, what are you going to do? But I also remember that before this came out, the cast was doing like interviews and they were like, yeah, well, this one's, updated and it's more blah, blah, blah. Cause it's better than the old one. Cause the old one's almost unwatchable. And I was just like, I don't know about you people. I don't feel like that's true. And so now that I've seen it, I'm just more disappointed because I don't think it was updated correctly or enough. And it also was bad. So I don't know.
The movie's called Mean Girls. Right?
Yeah.
Toes are going to get stepped on. That's the idea.
They should. This was like, what's not mean but not nice? What's like the middle? Is there a word for that for people? Because that's the type of girls they are.
Tepid?
They're not mean.
Tepid?
Tepid girls. That's probably not a great title. I don't know.
I mean, it's true. It's like, give us something.
Yeah.
Give us something.
Yeah, nobody was that mean. There wasn't much bullying. Not that there should be bullying, but there should be bullying.
Let me tell you something about what goes on in the world. There's bullying.
I mean, especially, oh boy. Speaking of bullying, Love Island is out of control, man. Woof. There's a lot of hate out there. Everybody love everybody.
Are you back on board? You're in love with it
No,
again?
I'm not on board. I think this is a terrible season, but people are being like death threats, and it's dark, man. It's like the people have turned on this show, and it's not pretty.
They're threatening the contestants with death?
Yeah, so 2 of them got kicked out, just like removed for saying racist things on their Instagram in the past, basically. Like those things resurfaced, and the show had to remove them silently, basically. And those people are being like bullied beyond belief. And then there's this Huda character who's like emotionally unstable, we'll say, and was slightly she was pretty mean to some people, and like it's ugly. The fandom is ugly right now, and it's scary.
They want a kinder, gentler Love Island?
Well, so the whole Love Island didn't used to be like the rest of reality television, right? Okay. The US was always worse because we're trashy people, right? But it began in earnest where people were there to try to make connections, and we watched people fall in love and not fall in love and have fun in the summer and the sun being beautiful. That's what the show is. It's like fun vibes, beautiful people trying to date in a villa, and it almost never works, right? But it's fun to watch. It has progressively become about clout chasing because all of these people go on to Instagram and fame and social media fame. So now it's like this season feels like everyone in that villa is just like, how do I become more famous? How do I win these people? And it's just not fun. It's just not fun to watch. Anyhow, sorry, I didn't mean to take over the podcast talking about Love Island again.
That's why I should have us on there. Bring a dose of reality.
That'd be a great
to
show.
Reality TV.
There you go. We would make no connections.
Tony.
Yeah.
Talk about something you like this week.
So we started watching Jensen Ackles, my big man crush's brand new television show on Amazon Prime called Countdown. It's not good. It's not a good show, but we want to support him and we want to love him. I don't know why it's called Countdown. There doesn't really seem to be a countdown involved in the whole show. They are trying to stop some sort of bomb plot type of thing, but there's no like, well, we've got 12 hours before it goes off. The countdown's begun. They're just kind of running around Los Angeles right now and just doing stuff. I don't know, man. It's not a great show, but we're going to watch it. We're going to watch it all the way through.
Even on a stupid show like 24, they realized it was about the 24 1-hour segments. 24
was great. I loved 24.
How many atomic bombs did they explode in Los Angeles?
How many seasons were there again? It's probably twice as many seasons, or twice as many bombs as seasons. That's what I would say.
I've been listening to the Superman radio show.
Like from the 1800s?
1940.
Oh, wow.
The radio show was on within 2 years of the comic of Superman being created.
Oh, wow. Good for them. That's fast moving.
Okay, you ready for your mind to be blown?
I'm ready. Give it to me.
The radio show invented kryptonite.
Wait, what?
They invented the character Perry White, and they invented the character Jimmy Olsen.
No way. Shut your mouth. That can't be true. Is that all true?
All fucking true. I'll go look it up.
That's incredible.
The reason why they invented kryptonite was so that the guy playing Superman could have a break. So they would kryptonite him, and then other characters would take care of stuff.
First of all, that's it started as a plot device. That's incredible. I love that.
They took on the Ku Klux Klan from a guy that infiltrated the Ku Klux Klan, and then they basically made the Ku Klux Klan look like a joke, and that
I bet they loved that.
They did not love that, and it totally affected recruitment. Because, they're all like, oh, the secret society of the dipshits in the hoods. And then, made them look like they're the embarrassing clowns that they are.
Look at that. I mean, art influencing society in a positive way.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Happens all the time.
Not anymore.
Not Love Island.
Love Island is doing the opposite. Yeah.
Tony, we need a bad movie to watch next week.
Okay, I got something for you, Dan.
Okay.
All right. Speaking, first of all, next Friday, a week from this Friday, July 18th, I'm very excited for a new movie that's coming out. It's called I Know What You Did Last Summer. They're bringing back some of the OGs. Jennifer Love Hewitt's back. Freddie Prinze is back. I mean, this movie's gonna be great. Why are you giving me this face? What's going on?
Freddie Prinze's face.
You don't know what this is?
Hard to look at.
I forgot. The long in the tooth, I beyond is what you said the last time we brought him up.
Long in the tooth.
Friend of the podcast, Freddie Prinze Jr. He's got a new movie coming out.
Sarah Michelle Gellar? Yeah. She going to be in it?
She's not coming back. She was murdered in the original.
Could be her twin or her child. She play her
she's
child.
Not, okay, she's not coming back. Listen. So that movie's coming out next Friday. So next week, we are going to watch the old sequel to I Know What You Did Last Summer called I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, because we can't watch I Know What You Did Last Summer because that movie's a perfect film.
Right.
It's 100% in my book.
Yeah.
I just watched it. We watch it every 4th of July. It's our 4th of July movie, that and Jaws. So we're going to watch the sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, which holds a wonderful 3% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It's like you can't learn a lesson, right? It's like, well,
100%.
We made 100%. A perfect movie. Well, we're not doing that again.
Now, if I remember correctly, Jack Black has a small part in this movie. It's been a while since I've seen this one. We do watch the first one every year, but I have not seen this in many years. But I think Jack Black has a tiny part in it, which I'm hoping to see. So to celebrate I Know What You Did Last Summer, we're going back and watching I Still Know What You Did Last Summer from 1998.
Wow. Now, is the first one, is that a hook horror guy with a hook?
Yeah, it's the same guy. So it's the same bad guy. I mean, he's dressed the same. I guess I don't know if it's the same person.
Oh, okay. So
it probably is.
Guy with a hook.
I don't know. It's been so long since I've seen this movie, Dan.
Well, you've seen the first one, so you know what happened in the first one.
Seen the first one a bunch.
And what's the deal? Did they do something to this guy to make him angry?
Oh, Dan. Yes. So I get the cliff notes of I Know What You Did Last Summer, the original. High school kids They I think it's graduation. They're having a party. They're a little inebriated. They're driving in a remote weavy place. They run over someone. They kill him. They throw him in the ocean instead of calling because they're like, "Oh, we've been drinking. We're gonna be in trouble." So I throw him in the ocean, and then a year later, they all start getting little letters that say, "I know what you did last summer." Turns out, that guy didn't really die, and he's coming back to exact his revenge.
Oh, so it's actually the dude. It's not like a setup.
Yeah,
it's not like his mom or something.
Nope, not in this one. I mean, there is a twist. I'm not going to say what the twist is, but yeah,
I got it.
It's great.
Okay,
it's a great movie. Beautiful cast. Oh my god!
Did they run over his hand? Is that why he has a hook, or do you have a hook before?
No, he doesn't. Okay, well, it's not like a hook for a hand.
Oh, it's not?
The fisherman's. No, he's holding the hook.
Oh, he has like a hook thing.
So they talk about the urban legend of the hook hand man, which is just like a nod to the actual killer in the movie. But he's a fisherman and he's holding the hook. Yeah. But that's hilarious.
Okay. So
although I can't spoil it.
They didn't run over his hand.
Yeah.
They did run over his hand? Just
no, but they do. All right, I'm going to ruin it a little bit. If you haven't seen the end of the movie, close your eyes. Nope, ears. At the end of the movie, they wrap his hand in a thing and then pull him up in a ship, and then it tears off the hand. So he loses the hand at the end of the movie. That's how they beat him. But yeah, for the rest of the movie,
he should be allowed to kill them all.
Well, whoa, Dan, okay. Calm down. You haven't seen it. You don't know the whole story, okay?
They ran him over. He gets free killing all of them. But
they're beautiful people. Ryan Phillippe, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Freddie Prinze Jr., one of the best looking casts in cinema history. Especially Freddie Prinze.
Yeah.
Long in the tooth.
Okay. If you like what you hear, give us a subscription, give us a thumbs up, give us a like, give us a comment. All things you could do. And we'll be back maybe next week talking about I Still Know What You Did Last Summer.
Nailed it. Goodbye, everybody.
Hey, watch it!